Okay, hopefully I'm centered. What's good, people? I'm GALANACCI, the creator. I'm Manila born, London raised, artist, designer, entrepreneur, founder of GALANACCI, pioneers greatness, inspiring you to realize your full potential. Man, I haven't had that intro in a long time. Basically, that used to be GALANACCI Diaries, but now I sort of stopped that and restructured. Now I'm doing UNCUT by GALANACCI, the creator, so more on the personal brand instead of being on the GALANACCI brand. But yeah, we'll just get right into it. So, recap of the week. Applied to a bunch of BDR, SDR roles. Had one interview this week. And I went on live every day, I think. Yeah, tried to go on live every day, whether it was on Twitch or IG Live. And continued completing the PoG Denim Tech Pack. Still not finished, but I worked on that this week. And also worked on the brand identity and brand visuals for my personal brand, GTC. So you've probably seen me rolling out some bits on my Instagram, playing around with the visuals, just trial and error, really seeing which one kind of fits with the branding or which one sort of gets more traction in a way. But yeah, that's sort of quick recap, but we'll get into some details. I have my notes here, and I'll just, fire away, really making it more structured this time instead of just like all freestyle on the top of my head, so that there's some structure to these videos. But yeah, so some of the challenges this week, obviously trying to land a BDR SDR role so that I can fund my brands, so GALANACCI and PoG. But obviously that's within like the tech sales role, right? The tech industry, the sales industry. And it's not too far from my background, my creative background. And since in the past 2-3 years, I've been sort of working towards my entrepreneurial ventures, having started like the GALANACCI and then also freelancing through Gverse. The technicals, or like the foundational skills that I've been using and practicing is transferable to BDR, SDR roles. So like the prospecting, the cold outreach, the client relationship, everything that's to do with bringing on clients and then obviously delivering your services, finding a middle ground to onboard potential clients, and then obviously pitching your designs, pitching concepts, and all of that. That's all like transferable skills that's applied and used a lot within the BDR and SDR roles. And and those are like entry level roles, because obviously I'm not corporately trained in that aspect. So I'm happy to start from the bottom and then sort of work my way up. So yeah, it's like a new challenge for me also. And I've been away from the whole 9 to 5 world because obviously I tried to see how far I can go with my entrepreneurial ventures, but it's difficult to build a business, let alone do it on your own. And obviously, real life responsibilities are starting to like, I'm starting to feel it. So now I have to really make the decision that yeah, I need to find a 9 to 5, and not just find any 9 to 5. I would like to find a 9 to 5 where the upside in terms of salary or basically money is very high, and I don't need too much training for it, type of thing. And the tech sales world is somewhere where you can pivot without prior background experiences, because they can train you on the job. So that's something I'm interested in, especially those skill sets within that role. They're all transferable into the real world, and for like my whole entrepreneurial ventures of building my own business, building my own brand. So that's why I was very selective in choosing, okay, yeah, let me tackle this new challenge of landing a BDR SDR role. And I've had some interviews. One of them said, oh, you should go into like the creative industry or whatnot. But then in my mind, I do enough design shit, creative shit for my own personal brands and business, to the point where I want to diversify my skill set, so that if I'm going back to the 9 to 5, I want to be doing something that's totally different to what I'm doing outside of the 9 to 5 once I land one, because I kind of want to have a balance in what I do, and I just don't want to do creative shit all the time. At least for now, when I'm unable to do the creative shit, like my own creative shit, because it's different when you're doing someone else's creative stuff. So me going to a creative industry and working there as a 9 to 5, the upsides there also isn't there's a the upsides isn't it isn't as doesn't weigh as much as the tech sales or tech industry. Obviously, there's more money in tech than there is within like the creative industry. So for me, it's all about the money, and then also like the career trajectory. So I aim to work for, or I aim to stay within like the 9 to 5 role for the next 5 to 8 years, to build up, obviously save up capital, and also build on my skill set within sales, business development within a role like the one I'm pursuing. And yeah, it just allows me to really go from, let's say, a 30K or 40K salary all the way to like a 100K salary, because that's what you can get within the tech sales industry. And obviously, I'm being like applying some, what's that? Being realistic here in terms of a timeline. Like, I know it will take time to build a business, a brand. So within that time frame, I need to make sure that I'm doing everything right on my end, so that I can fund my business in the long run. Because between that 5 to 8 years, oh yeah, the plan is to fully transition back into building my brand full time, and then by then I would have developed products, because obviously you need money to develop products. I mean, there's also other ways of uh, gathering funds, like crowdfunding, using credit lines, but I'm at this point where, yeah, I got personal debt that I have to clear out first. So that's one of the things that I'm thinking about. You got rent to pay, you got bills to pay. Like, it's like real life shit, man. Like, it's not like I'm living back at my parents' place where I don't have to do any of those things, but now I have to. So that's why I'm really trying to push for this type of shit, you know. And that's one of the things about building a business. Sometimes you try to go full time with it, and within that time frame that you give yourself, it doesn't pop off, or it doesn't sustain or it's not stable enough to sustain a lifestyle. And that's just sometimes the reality of it. So, and that's my reality. So I'm not afraid to like share that, and also find a solution, and even just pivot slightly away from what I want to be doing, so that in a couple of years from now I can go back and do what I actually want to do full time, but then also give myself the best sort of foundation for me to keep going. Because when I decided to go full time with my brand, bro, I got no savings, no nothing, no, like literally. So it's a bit, if you think about it, it's a bit silly. So if I'm going to do it again, I want to be able to have savings and capital ready before taking on building a business full time. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to be not doing anything. It's not just that. It's not like I'm just going to leave the business stuff that I've already cultivated behind me. It's going to be alongside my 9 to 5, during like off work hours, and on the free time on the weekends, developing products and designing and whatnot. And also this, like, documenting the whole thing. And I'm approaching it in a way where I'm already setting up right now. I'm developing systems and processes so that once I'm back to a 9 to 5 role, I'm able to still execute my my content without it taking too much time. So I've set it up in a way where I could do it within a day, boom, 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 quick and easy, so that I'm not stressing myself out, but still being consistent with documenting the journey, progressing and developing with GALANACCI and PoG. But yeah, that's just how it goes. Real life, man, real life. We're living real life. Just reading my notes to see what else I might have missed out. Yeah, that's pretty much. And yeah, so this week I've been learning how to, what do you call it? Set up my systems and processes. So one of them is recording whilst I work on the computer. So I use OBS Studio, and that's usually what live streaming people use, and how they like film what they're doing on a computer. And then there's also like the webcam or whatever capturing their reaction. So I did a similar thing, but when with me using or working on the technical pack for the PoG Denim Jacket, so that I can sort of record a little glimpse of my day when I'm working on the document, and use that to market sort of my personal brand and the brand, and just have a little note on it saying, oh yeah, this is like the realities of building a brand. It's not always like fun stuff. Like sometimes, or most of the time, you're doing like the mundane shit, like the very boring shit. Like out, like for me, I find doing technical packs, technical drawings. Actually, I quite like doing technical drawing, but doing like a technical pack, that's a bit boring, because all you're doing is making a document, labeling, annotating, putting in your reference images. That's not really the thing that I find fun, but it's the important stuff that you have to do, because that's how you communicate your ideas to manufacturers and all of that shit, so that they can actually execute your idea when it's time to produce or create a sample. But yeah, that's just like one of them things, the realities of like building a business or a brand. You think it's always fun, but no, there are, most of the time you're doing like the very boring shit, because the very boring shit is the important stuff, and then the fun stuff is mostly maybe 15-20% of the time, but you do it because you love the whole entire sort of vision, and you're disciplined enough to carry out the mundane the mundane tasks, because obviously it's the overall vision that you're in love with, and obviously there's a whole bunch of processes within that, and then some parts you enjoy more than the others, and that's just like the case with me. Technical packs, bit too boring, but I still do it despite that. And what else is there? Oh yeah, it's also starting to roll out, obviously, the personal brand on Galanacci the creator, where this is being uploaded on like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's building this. I knew that I need to be able to build a visual identity, identity, to the point where you just see the colors, or you see the way I film it, the fonts I use, that you could quickly just kind of like grasp that, yeah, that's a GTC, that's a Galanacci the creator type of shit. And that's what I've been playing around this week and executing. Obviously, I don't put too much pressure on myself. I just allow myself to fail on the spot and then just improve on the next sort of post or content or creative, and then just have it be like that, like not care too much on how things are, because I know the next day I could just completely change it and then see which one sticks, which one sort of gathers more traction, and all of that. Just trial and error, really. Like failing more, failing quick. That's just my tactic for this shit. Okay, achievements. And yeah, milestones this week. Yeah, pretty much getting back into being consistent with posting shit on Instagram or social media in a whole, because the past couple of months it's been hectic. So I haven't been doing that properly, because obviously me and my girlfriend just moved into a new apartment nearly 2 months ago, and during then I was flat hunting on top of like job hunting, which is like just fucking headache. But at least that's out the way, and now I'm just focusing on job hunting. But yeah, it's just like juggling those shit, and then obviously being consistent with posting my shit, which is good, because back then I was super consistent with it, but I didn't have all the other noise that was around me. So it's nice to be back and doing this shit. I need to be more consistent with it so that I can improve my processes and make it lean and just improve everything. So like how I deliver this, how I vocalize my shit, how I edit, how I just everything, the whole thing, man. Because the more you're consistent with things, the more everything will improve day by day, day by day, And that's what I aim to do, just improve, 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 improve. Because that compounds. Before you know it, boom, we up. But until then, I'm gonna keep working. But yeah, okay, next steps. So yeah, I think now is just really, really honing on landing a 9 to 5 role, because the quicker I can land one, then the quicker I can start investing into my brand again, paying off personal debt, get like that mental pressure off me, and just like go ham. It's like this year onwards is just executing everything, boom, boom, boom. Like I don't care if I have to take a 9 to 5. That's calm with me. Sacrifices have to be made. Like it ain't as deep as like what my parents did, like flying to or moving to a different country whilst having like 3 kids and just doing what I'm doing now, but with kids and shit like that. That's insane. So the sacrifice of picking up a 9 to 5 in a different industry isn't as much as what like my parents has done. So that's how I kind of like frame things. It's like this ain't hard. Like my parents went through harder, so I got enough. I can't complain. I just have to execute. Boom, boom, boom. I kind of speak quick, man, but you know, that's how my mind's just racing. But yeah, I'm just reading my notes, seeing if what else I missed out. But yeah, it's all a short-term sacrifice, really. This 9 to 5, I'm thinking in decades, and I started this journey maybe like building, like starting to realize that I want to build my own shit like 5 years ago. So back in 2020, so I'm halfway through this decade of like dedication, and yeah, it's just following through now, man. Following through, making sure that I finish the line, and then by 2030, I think that's when shit's popping off. You know, that's when it's gonna be popping off. So right now, it's like setting down the foundations and making sure it's solid. Because then by 2030, we're gonna be building as high as we can. And to be able to do that, you have to set the foundation to be solid. You can't build shit on like weak foundations. And I should know because you know I did architecture. But yeah, that's pretty much it with the what I was doing this week. But yeah, to talk a little bit more about the brands. So for Galanacci and PoG, I coined this genre of human wear. So Galanacci is luxury human wear, and Pioneers of Greatness is human wear. I'll do another video on like the difference between those two, but for now, human wear is sort of this uh, next evolution of what streetwear is. It is what streetwear is currently at. Man, my mind is moving so quick I can't even articulate what I'm trying to think of. But yeah, you know how like Virgil Abloh took streetwear into luxury fashion. What I want to do now is, or continue to do, is to elevate that. And what I've realized is streetwear is about the environment. It's the surroundings, right? That's why street is in the name streetwear. And it's sort of like what do you call it? The the subgenres and kind of communities that has been built within like environments that streetwear reflects, whether it be like hip hop, like punk, whatever, man. There's a bunch I could list, but I can't really think of it at the moment. But the whole aspect of human wear is shifting the focus to the human. So instead of like the environment, which is like you know the street, I'm looking inwards into the individual, and that's how I sort of perceive human wear. It's about being able to reflect the individual's potential. Because when I started Galanacci, it was about going through a journey of finding your purpose, and that everyone has it in them to become great. Like they have that potential to be great, but obviously not everyone becomes great because it's hard. The journey towards it is hard, and most people give up along the way. Some people don't even know where to start, and some people try their best but never never achieve it. But what I want to do is have human wear as this thing where it reminds people that yeah, you have it in you to become great, and pretty much inspire people to reach their full potential through this genre that I'm developing. And it's mostly philosophical. So the approach is very philosophical. And I think that's where streetwear is going to evolve into, because I'm already starting to see smaller brands, upcoming brands that sort of shares the same philosophy, you know? And that's when I was like, yeah, human wear would be a thing that people would actually use it. Like, yeah, I'm building a human wear brand, and then when people say human wear, they'll know that their approach is more philosophical and tailored to the individual, the human, and about inspiring others to reach their full potential. But you need someone to go out there and vocally talk about it, like myself. And yeah, that's what human wear is, and that's what the brands that I'm developing. And it's not just like a marketing plot, because if for someone to disrupt the industry, you need to innovate. And then this is my way of innovating by coining the term human wear, and then talking about it, and also developing the genre itself and its pillars in a way. But yeah, hopefully that captures like the overall essence of what human wear is and what I'm trying to do with it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think, yeah, that's it for me, man. I think I've been rambling pretty good. But yeah, if you've reached this far, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit. Follow my socials, follow the brand socials. And yeah, man, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.